Vladimir Ossipoff was also, in addition to be calling Master of Hawaii Modern Architecture, the Dean of Residential Architects in Hawaii and the premier post-war designer of Kama'aina-style residence in Honolulu. And here he is, sitting at his desk. And this is one of his most famous homes, the Liljestrand House. Vladimir Ossipoff was born in Germany. He moved to Japan when he was 3 years old, and he spent most of his early years in Tokyo. And this is very important because you'll notice as I go on in the slides how much influence he had living in Japan, how much that influenced his work here in Hawaii. He was also fluent in Japanese, Russian, and English. He attended the American School in Tokyo. He was greatly influenced by an architect named Frank Lloyd Wright, who designed Tokyo's Second Imperial Hotel. And in 1923, their family moved to Berkeley, California, after the Great Kanto earthquake in Japan. And he completed high school and earned his architecture degree from UC Berkeley. Shortly after, he moved to Honolulu to visit his high school and college roommates, where he found work, luckily, right away. And he first started working with Charles W. Dickey. Then he moved to Ray Morris, and for 3 years, he was the head of Theo Davies' company. Then he returned to C.W. Dickey, and when he was only 29, he formed his own architecture firm in Honolulu. Later became known as Ossipoff and Associates. He was awarded the first Medal of Honor of the AIA Hawaii chapter of Fellow American Institute of Architects. This is his most recognized design. He designed both commercial and residential buildings. So I know that we all are familiar with this Ward Village's IBM building. It is 6 stories, and on the top floor, there's a rooftop. These concrete structures kind of looks like a very modernist, but it also has function. So 3 of the main functions is to serve as a sunscreen, blocking sunlight, and then also prevents pigeon nesting and prevents water from pooling. And his inspiration for this lattice design was this computer punch cards. Back then, they used this punch card in the computer industry, and so you can see in that second photo how similar the punch card looks to this design of the IBM building. Can anybody tell me what mid-century modern architecture is? Any ideas? No? Well, mid-century modern architecture is between the mid-1930s to mid-1960s, and it's characterized by clean lines, muted curves, a mix of organic and geometric shapes, lack of ornamentation, large windows, interior design based on functionality, and very open floor plans, and an emphasis in bringing the outdoors in. And Vladimir Ossipoff is most known for, I guess he kind of invented the lanai. So their company and Ossipoff himself transformed the lanai into a building itself. And the firm perfected its form. And it has a rich history rooted in the Hawaiian architecture. So a quick history about the lanai in Hawaii. It was originally conceived by Native Hawaiians for daily living, social gatherings, and spiritual ceremonies. It is this freestanding open post wood and beam wood frame with a roof or dried leaves over. So here you can see this photo with the Halekulani Hotel in 1925. It's actually no longer here, but here you can see the canopy and the shade that it provides from elements such as wind and rain. And it also allows us to enjoy the outdoors. So kind of that indoor-outdoor idea. So this is the tree that originally Hawaiians normally use for lanais. So it's this hau tree, and you can see this at the Kaimana Beach Hotel. And so here you can see that thick kind of canopy covering, and it's really shady. So this is still here today. And Ossipoff says, we have a much more casual way of being formal than you do on the mainland. So it kind of set the precedent for these open indoor-outdoor living lanai space in Hawaii. Here you can see at the Halekulani, which is, they actually don't have this tree anymore. Here is the kind of the living lanai space. And Hawaii's lanai idea was called The Room with the Missing Wall, and that was published in Sunset Magazine in 1976. So Ossipoff really updated lanai. It became an appendage to an enclosed area, essentially a large veranda. And that's his finest innovation. You'll be able to see that in future slides coming up. And really an emphasis on the indoor-outdoor living. It really blended and harmonized with existing topography, plant life, and setting. And it's proof of Hawaii's gracious indoor-outdoor living. And the lanai was incorporated for both commercial and residential buildings. And its primary function was to be casual and discreet, allowing its inhabitants to view the foliage and nature while still getting protection from the elements such as rain and sun and wind. And Ossipoff's upbringing in Japan really had impacted his designs in architecture. So on the lanai. So in Japan, the concept of the house, and I'll show you in the future slides here, the engawa is kind of like this. It's this lifted, raised veranda that surrounds the edge of the house, and it connects the inside of the house with the outside. So these were the inspirations that Ossipoff drew from while developing this Hawaiian modern architecture. And then also the shoji screens. So those are the sliding panels that open and close the engawa to nature. So those were, they also have these wooden shutters you can see on the second line. And those are solid wood panels, and those protect the house from elements like the sun and the rain. And the Japanese architecture really embraced nature. And so this is where Ossipoff drew from living in Japan. He was surrounded by nature, and this Shuden style home in the Middle Ages was very prevalent in Japan. So this is where he got his inspiration from. And here you can see how these shoji screen doors really just seamlessly blends with the outdoor foliage and nature. So Ossipoff said, an architect from Ceylon once said that in his country, the idea of a house is an umbrella which protects the dweller from both sun and rain. This is a distillation of an idea to its simplest expression, and I like it. A house in Hawaii would do well to observe this simple dictum. So Ossipoff really thought the Hawaiian house should emphasize its connection to the environment between the topographic integration and ease of movement from the inside and out. The Hawaiian house his idea was that it should not be grandiose or with bright colors. And so during this time, Hawaiian modernism was homes of modest scale, and it created also had an element of surprise. So it also he really understood the climate in Hawaii, and so that was also taken into consideration while designing these homes. So their fundamental approach was to implement proper building orientation, protective architecture elements, and understanding of the Hawaiian microclimates. So here you can see in this home, Ossipoff created this windows, kind of like bay windows, but you can also open and close the windows to be more like you can enjoy the outdoors and have a seat on the little bench right over there, and also enjoy your dinner while enjoying the outdoors. So he really understood Hawaiian Island microclimates, and he understood that the topography and the wind direction can be a deciding factor on the shape and the openness of the dwelling. So a lot of times he would strategically place the bedrooms in a certain orientation to protect it from the wind or face the light. Also, he understood that the windward side shorelines were very breezy and salty, and the leeward was drier and warmer inland. And he also took into consideration air temperature that varies, and that so he really was able to manipulate different functional spaces to confront these different microclimates in Hawaii. And that is part of the reason why he was so successful. So we all know buildings designed by Ossipoff. The first is the Liljestrand House, and you can actually go there and tour. It's about $800. You can do a sunset hour or a private tour, Goodsale House, Diamond Head Apartments, Punahou Schools, Memorial Chapel, the Honolulu Board of Water Supply Administration Building. And so these are just a few, and a lot of it was in Honolulu neighborhoods for the residential homes, Lanikai, Ainahaina, Kahala, Black Point, Hawaiiloa Ridge, Waialainui Ridge, and Makiki Heights, Tantalus, Round Top. So here we can see the Liljestrand House, and this is the most famous home. So here you can see the wide kind of lanai walkway that surrounds the home on the second floor. And you can see how it's facing as these large glass windows to seamlessly connect to nature. Here is the indoor views. And you can actually go to their website and visit it take a tour. This home was custom built for the Lilljestrands. The husband was a medical doctor, and the wife also worked at the hospital in clerical, and their son also was so inspired that he also became an architect as well. So here's the views from the home. You can see it has a beautiful mountain view, city view, and part of Ossipoff really used a lot of science behind. So he studied the Venturi principle, which was a principle of uneven air pressure. So the breeze kind of just flows through from the top to the bottom. He really understood the winds patterns in Hawaii, which made it so that you didn't really have to turn on the lights, or you didn't have to turn on the fan or air condition. So a lot of Ossipoff designs are meant to really just be one with nature and make it so that the inhabitants are just very comfortable and enjoying the trade winds and the lights, and just maximizing the outdoors and the property's potential. The Goodsell residence was sold in 2022, and it was listed at $3.2 million, sold for $3.025 million, 35 days on market, a 3-bed, 3-bath, 1/2 bath, 2,145 interior, and a 392 lanai. And there's 3 pavilions surrounding the courtyard, listed and sold by Eric Taniguchi, and buyer's agent was Diane Ito. So this home I got to see during, I think it was a historic Hawaii event, and this home was registered and open to the public under the Historic Hawaii Foundation. And here you can see the open lanai. So the awnings, or the roof for the lanai, is quite large, so it allows more space on the lanai to enjoy the outdoors and still be covered. If it rains, you won't get wet. You can see that. Another very famous house is the Pauling House in Round Top, and you'll actually be able to go into the AIA and get these prints, and you can see how Ossipoff really took into consideration the wind direction and the placement of, you can see the placement of the homes, of the bedrooms and the living rooms. It's very strategic to maximize the nature and take advantage of the way the light faces, or the way the wind blows. Also designed Diamond Head Apartments. So this is on the Gold Coast. Diamond Head Apartments has 58 units. It was the first in the USA that was a all pre-stressed steel reinforced concrete building taller than 6 stories. And it took advantage of the best natural features of island living, as spectacular mountain and ocean views and warm trade winds. And the building was strategically placed on the edge of the Pacific Ocean, which takes advantage of trade winds, maximizes the sunlight, allows privacy for its residents from the bustle of Waikiki. So this is the highest sold listing within the last 6 months. It was listed at $3.8 million and sold for $3.4 million, just 19 days on the market, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. This one's on the 9th floor. You can see it has the ocean view and the mountain view. The seller's agent was Don A. Parsons of Hawaii Life and buyer's agent Pete Arnold of Hawaii Life. Currently, the highest active listing is this 303 units on the third floor. It's listed at 5.9 million. It's been on the market for about 2 months now. And it's a 3-bed, 2 baths and 1 half bath. It's listed by Juliana Garris of Hawaii Life. So you can see how the lanai is really you can see how it covers. So the unit above has still covering above you, so it has some shade from the sunlight and still protects from the rain. And here in the living room and the kitchen, you're able to enjoy that ocean. It kind of has like a seamless view into the beach. Here is Punahou School's Robert Shipman Thurston Jr. Memorial Chapel. And it's elevated on the southwest side, and here you can see the stained glass panels. Another very significant commercial building is Hawaii HPA's Memorial Chapel on the Big Island in Kona. The UH Manoa Administration Building. The Pacific Club. And I love the Pacific Club for this indoor-outdoor feel. The Outrigger Canoe Club. You can see how it looks like they have some hau tree above there. More of the interior. So the Outrigger Canoe Club, it really, when you're in there, you don't feel like you're in a building at all. It really feels like you're just under a little umbrella, really. And also the Daniel K. Noi it has this Grand Lanai style, the terminals. So the ticketing area, there's no air condition, and that's something that Ossipoff really took into consideration as well. And for the terminals, when the passengers arrive, it's very bright, and there's a lot of greenery, a lot of foliage. And then also there's music in the courtyard. There's the Sun Yat-sen Garden for visitors to take in. So the highest active Ossipoff home right now is this home in Kahala. And it's listed at 23 million. It was listed March 1st, 6-bed, 6-bath. It's actually 3 parcels. So it's about 1.76 acres, listed by Cedric Choi of Hawaii Life. And there is a video I'll show you. It is to show you, oh, not this one. This one was the highest sold on Oahu. That's the highest sold ever. Let's see if I can click it. Oh. So just a short clip of this listing. Okay. And this highest sold listing is this off the grid estate in Kailua Kona on the Big Island. So it's the Lua Hine, actually I don't know how to say it, in Kiholo. So it was sold for 15.7 million, 4-bed, 4-bath. It's right along the ocean. It has surrounded by conservation land, 2.43 acres, and sold by Adam Atwood of Sotheby's and Carrie Nicholson of Hawaii Life. And it also has a video that'll play for you. I'll show you here. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. All right, it's playing here. So this one was a special property commissioned by the owners. We commissioned Ossipoff to build that for them. They'll go on to the highest sold listing on Oahu. This one was in Lanikai, sold by Tracy Allen. This one was sold in 2018 for 12.15 million and about 4 months on the market. This was a 3-bed plus den. Sorry about that. Let's go back here. So it has a pool pavilion, 5 beds, 4 bath, 1 half bath. And it is a very huge parcel of land, 20,079 square foot of land and 5,098 interior. So by Tracy Allen and Neil A. Norman of Hawaii. And I can quickly show you a video for that also.
Can we skip that particular video? Okay, go ahead. It's okay. I think we have there we go.
Okay, so I did a quick little comparison between a home that is designed by Ossipoff versus non-Ossipoff. So here you can see the red line. Here are the homes in the area at that time that sold for a lot less than an Ossipoff home. Here's the sales versus list price. And then also I did the Ossipoff versus non-Ossipoff. So it does kind of command anywhere from 24% higher to, in this case, a 68% higher price for your seller or for your buyer. And thank you so much for joining along on my little Ossipoff adventure. Does anybody have any questions or